Hey, what's up guys? Five here. In today's video, this is going to be part 2 of Diamond Dynasty MLB 15. It's basically like a year-end special. What we loved about Diamond Dynasty and how they changed it and how they made it distilled, and some of the things that we didn't like and what we would like to see moving forward. We're going to start off the episode first with the comments that I asked you guys. What do you guys like about it? What would you guys like to see in MLB 16 and that you guys would be featured on the show? So the first comment is from Josh Chaos. He said, great game, too many bugs though. Fix the bugs and put a higher chance on some better rewards and have a solid game next year. Also, they need to be more proactive on going on player stats as the season goes along and not a 3-year thing. We did discuss that about the 3-year average, which that should be the base card, and then after that they should be just going right from what that player is doing for that season. Adrian O'Donnell, I really hated the gameplay, so many glitches. The other thing is they did not make team of the week cards and new cards like Mutt. I was very disappointed. Well, we talked about this a little bit, and I don't want this game to become Mutt. I've talked to a few other people from the community, tons of people actually, and they don't want it to turn into Mutt. They don't want it to be a cash cow game. And I don't think San Diego Studios and Sony is going to go along the lines of trying to make it a cash cow. I really hope not. I would be very disappointed in the series and everything else like that. And we don't have another outlet to look like how football is where nobody can play another game because of all the player rights and everything is with EA. So it would be nice to see that, but I hope they don't put it where it's a cash thing. That's going to be very disappointing. Elijah Ramos says for MLB 16, they should put more throwback players and have a prime card. Okay, so we talked about that. That's a lot of the things. Fumes Game says, I love the collection and promo aspect, but I think they could add more legends, 2 or 3 per team, which that costs a lot for their likeness rights, and some throwback players, throwback ALCS 04 OTs with the huge clutch stats and big power numbers that don't change. I think they also can improve fixing the market so the market isn't broken like it was late July, early August. A lot of that had to do with activity that was happening on the web page itself. But yeah, like we talked about, more throwback cards. Hated the D's nuts, bunt cheese, Brandon Cox. And I think a good reward after the game could be 50 per stubs, per run, strikeout, following, and like 300 for winning, multiplied. Yeah, that would be nice to have. Like, you do certain things in the game. But today we are going to get onto the gameplay issues of the game. That's going to be a big thing. UC Manable says they need more content, like each team of the week and stuff like that. And they want to EA it. I don't want to see that. Draft mode for MLB. Like I said, we're going to talk about gameplay and game modes. Daniel said for that one. Owen, fix the leg would be awesome. Jack 2K says better content such as throwback cards and awarded theme cards. Yeah, that would be definitely nice to see. So I want to talk to you guys today, and how I feel is the gameplay. The gameplay is solid. It's very good, but there are some key issues that are definitely deterring people away from the game. And Brandon hit the, nail on the head, and that was the head on the nail. Was the D's nuts bunchies. So D's nuts had, 99 speed, and you could just bunt and get to first base. What happened is the third baseman, catcher, or pitcher would come in, or even first baseman. And the biggest issue was, 1 was the speed issue, and 2 is the biggest issue of them all, and this is the biggest that I have, is the animations in the game. For online gameplay, the animations in the game are completely broken and need to be fixed. Like, the catcher, if you bunt it right in front of the plate, gets up, walks, towards the ball, and the bat slows them down, or when there's a pop up in the outfield near the wall and you don't want to run into the wall, well, the animation automatically pushes you to the wall, and then you brace yourself up against it, then you bounce off the wall. You got 4 or 5 seconds. Well, somebody's tagging up from second. That 4 or 5 seconds, they can be at home if they have Hamilton, any of the speedy guys. Bunting needs to be addressed to make it, use the double analog to, you actually have to be able to be more accurate with it and, have the, be able to lay that down. Also, same thing with stealing. There needs to be more reaction with stealing. I think that they could tweak that quite a bit because, not everybody wants to use their creative player at catcher, or B, use Yadier, because those are really the 2 main options. And then you're going to have to pitch out, and then you're going to have to slide step, which with Billy Hamilton, D's nuts, that really, something 99% of the time, it didn't work. It was usually a 1% chance that you were going to be able to throw out runners. So a lot of animations need to be taken out on the online aspect. Keep it into the, offline if possible, that I could see. Another thing was, and I think it took about 2 months for people to get used to it, was the Pat Neshek cheese with that circle change. That was super annoying with the gameplay. But other than that, everyone's always going to be complaining about lag. That's something that just can't be 100% completely fixed. So I'm going to throw that out the window, because every game you want, to have better no lag and better connection and stuff like that. Another thing for gameplay is add a freaking connection bar. You've had it in previous MLB installments and you didn't have it in this one. We need to have that. Because if I'm going up somebody that's a red bar, I don't want to play them. I don't want to face them or anything else like that. I'll back out. That's not a problem. It's not a big deal for that. Another thing that I like to see and get at it for gameplay is the bullpen. Adding some type of way of adding fatigue if you're going to use a pitcher over and over and over again. Because you guys remember in the beginning of the game, whether you be up by a run or 5 runs, 6th, 7th, or 8th, usually Neshek was coming in for till the 9th and stuff like that, and you just couldn't really pick up on it. So I think that needs to be somewhat addressed for gameplay. Definitely see some type of fatigue issues. Also, try to change up the starting pitching. That's kind of annoying because there would be days where it would be like 2 or 3 days straight that I would just use one pitcher. I remember it was 2 days straight I used Jose Fernandez and didn't get to use any of my other pitchers. And I know it's random, but that was kind of annoying. So gameplay is, please fix stealing. Make it much more difficult to steal. I would like to see that a little bit more difficult. Make it more difficult to bunt. That you would see more. Bunting is essential to the game. It's important to have in the game because you have to bunt. You have to play small ball when you're going up against great pitching or great defense and stuff like that. It's been in the game. It's been in game for over 100 years. It's got to stay. And with that, fix animations. Take unnecessary animations out. I know San Diego Studios, you guys want to make this, the most realistic sports game out there. I understand. You could do that on the offline part. But when it comes to online, we need to, the animations need to be cut down. That's a lot of issues that I hear in a lot of different games too, sports games, is broken animations. Cut up, shorten up the animations and stuff like that. That's going to help with stealing. That's going to help with bunting. And it's going to be a better overall game. Now on to game modes. As you guys can see where it says play ball, we have 3 game modes. head to head, which you face somebody, pretty self-explanatory, play computer, or extra innings where you play your friend's team that is the computer. So this is what I would like to see. Because we need more. I mean, more is better, essentially, for this. A draft mode. A lot of the other games are coming up with these draft modes. I think draft mode for baseball would be awesome, would blow up. I think a lot of people would like that, because I liked it in Madden, because I'm not able to drop $500, $800 to try out, say, Herman Moore or Ray Lewis, or, you know, other players that are high tier that I'll never ever be able to afford. So that would help. That also, it would keep things fresh for people, because instead of playing head to head, well, you know, we can do head to head, but let's do a draft, you know, so it's randomizes everything. So, you know, people aren't seeing the same exact teams over and over again. I think that would be really, really cool to have. You know, you draft, you know, maybe a total of, you know, 9 players, and, you know, you get to pick 2 pitchers, of reliever, a starting pitcher, and, you know, randomize it or whatever, you know, where the computer picks, you know, your third baseman or shortstop, stuff like that. But you get to have 9 choices, and you be able to pick, you know, pitchers and catchers and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be really cool to have in a draft mode. Another thing that I would definitely like to see is a tournament based, where you can have so many different tournaments. You could have a common tournament where all your players have to be common players, and then you get a reward at the end. You know, stubs and some type of pack of cards. You can have a bronze tournament. You can have a silver tournament. You can have a gold tournament. You can have an unlimited tournament where, you know, you can have legends and you can have diamond players. You know, there's no cap. Tournaments are, you know, quintessential for baseball, you know, during little league, up to high school, up to travel league, even in college. You know, you go to tournaments or invitationals and stuff like that. I think that would be really something cool to have. And then, you know, having something like a solo challenge gauntlet. We talked about that in the previous video. Definitely would like to see some type of solo challenge gauntlet to be able to add new, fresh content. Because, I mean, that is one of the big complaints that a lot of people had when I was streaming and on Twitter and on YouTube is, you know, where's more content? We want more content, you know, and people love this mode. So let's give them the content. And I think that would be really, really cool, because, you know, you can add tons of content each month and stuff like that, on top of, you know, doing your update players, which we'll get into that probably the next episode and stuff like that. So having like different tournaments, having weekly tournaments and stuff like that, like, you know, on Friday when you release the pack, hey, this is a new tournament and stuff like that, and you can win one of the new free packs. I think also having different style of tournaments and stuff like that. You know, and you have all players from one team and stuff. Like, there's just, you could be so creative with it. Would be really, really cool. Another thing that I would like to see is an actual batting practice. Not like what they have currently. Have a batting practice where it could be, you know, you go up a different pitcher, you pick the pitch that you want to go up against, or it can be a machine and stuff like that you can test out new players, see which ones that you do like. I think that would be really, really cool. And same thing with like a pitching practice with that too. Would definitely be something really, really good. And last but not least, the most important game mode that is a must. This one has to come in before any of those other ones. Play a friend. Play somebody online that you know. I mean, come on, guys. Like, it's 2015. Every sports game has that. We need to have that in ours. But yeah, play a friend. That needs to be it needs to happen. You get no stubs, you get no cards afterwards, because people would just, abuse it like always. But yeah, you just go up against your friend. It doesn't go against your record. So I would definitely like to see something like that be implemented. Another thing is we have this level system. We have, level 1 to 30. What does it do? What does level 30 mean? I don't know. No one knows. So I don't know if you guys edited it in for something down the road for maybe 16, 17 or whatnot. What I would like to see is, something kind of cool that you can get, with different levels, whether it be like a pack of cards, stubs, whether it be, you can borrow a player, like you could bring up a player from the minor leagues or something, something kind of cool like that. You can buy like a jersey or something with it, like throwback jerseys or stuff like that for your team for customization, because that would be really cool to have. Like, instead of customizing my jersey, I can go in and out of the packs, I can pack a Reds jersey, and then with your leveling up, you can get throwback jerseys and stuff like that. Throwback stadiums you can do. That would be definitely something cool that I would like to see part of. But I know if it's unable to be done, I completely 100% understand it if it can't be done. So I think that wraps it up, guys. After watching the video, what would you guys like to see? What was some of the points that I did not touch that you definitely would like to see for gameplay, game modes, and stuff like that? Put a comment below. Put a comment below of what you would like, what some of the things gameplay wise that you would like to see changed for 2016, and the things that you did like. It will be read on the next episode, the first like couple minutes. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. I love doing this. If you did like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. One love. 5 is out.